What is up guys, my name is alia and welcome to a brand new video covering some tips and tricks and some class setups for the brand new Modern Warfare 3 playlist called Face+Off. This includes 1 vs 1, 2 vs 2 and newly added 3 vs 3 game types. We're going to be playing on specifically designed small maps. There are only 4 out at the moment. 2 of them are free and are out on Xbox for everyone. They'll be out to all the guys on PS3 mid-June, all the guys on PC sometime in the near future, and the other 2 Face+Off maps are available in the Collection 2 downloadable content package. But I wanted to make sure you guys were making the most of this experience when playing Face+Off. You're doing as well as possible, so I've gathered some tips and tricks together for you guys and I really hope you enjoy. So the first tip is just a general one, and it's making sure that you can rely on your teammates, and the best way of doing that is calling in a buddy, playing with someone you know in real life or someone you play a lot with online, and actually making sure you've both got headsets on, you're communicating with each other, and it basically just means that you're going to be acting as a team, you're going to be able to rely on each other and you're not going to be hindering each other, which is the worst thing if you jump into Face+Off and you're playing with some random teammate that doesn't really know what they're doing. So making sure you're playing with someone you know and you can both communicate well is going to be the first tip to really make sure you're doing as well as possible in Face+Off. Making sure your classes are set up correctly, which is what I talked about earlier, making sure that they're sort of Face+Off classes rather than just general classes. Recon Pro is really useful. You won't necessarily need anything like Scavenger or Sleight of Hand. You're not going to be running out of ammo very quickly. You won't be running into multiple kills very often, so you won't need to reload very quickly. However, Recon Pro is the perfect perk. If you get into a gunfight and you lose a gunfight, as long as it's Pro, the Recon perk, and as long as you've hit them with one of your bullets or stunned them, they're going to be painted as a red dot on the map, like the advanced UAV, but it's going to be continuous for about 5 seconds or so, and it's really useful. You don't actually have to verbally then call out the enemy and where they are on the map. It means that you can respawn, know exactly where the enemy is, and your teammates know exactly where the enemy is, and it's a really useful perk. In terms of the proficiency on your gun and the attachments on your gun, I would recommend the silencer, because you've got to remember, if you're not playing 1 vs 1 of course, that if you're against 2 or 3 people and you're using an unsilenced gun, if you shoot one person, the rest of the team are going to be running straight at you because you're going to be a clear red dot on the map. Silencer can just be really useful in making sure it doesn't happen. You can silently pick people off and don't have to worry too much about appearing as a red dot on the map. For the actual proficiency, focus is really useful. Again, you may not be using it a lot in normal game modes like TDM on those bigger maps, but for the Face+Off map, since you're almost always going to be in close quarters gunfights, making sure that you're getting as little kickback from the gun when you enter a gunfight means you're going to be winning a lot more gunfights compared to your enemy that may be using kick or something, and focus is just generally really useful and probably overlooked a lot as well. Moving back to the perks again and looking at the red perks this time, you can either choose basically between Quick Draw and Assassin. Now a lot of people use Assassin already, and personally I never use Assassin, and I wouldn't really recommend using Assassin simply because a lot of people dislike it, and it's generally frowned upon, you know, sort of not appearing on the map. So I would say go with Quick Draw. It means you can zoom in quicker when you are getting in those gunfights, and again, just making sure that when you're confronting the enemy, you're going to be best off and you're going to be in the best situation to make sure you're winning that gunfight. The final perk here, the yellow perk, Sit Rep Pro. This is a highly useful perk, especially if you've got a headset on, or even if you're using a TV with loud volume. If you use Sit Rep Pro, it makes the enemy's footsteps a lot louder, dampens the sound of your teammates' footsteps and your own footsteps as well, and it means that on these smaller maps, if you're running around a corner, you may be able to hear that enemy a split second before they hear you, and it's really useful. And in the recent patch, they actually updated it so that Sit Rep Pro now counters dead silence perfectly. You weren't able to hear dead silence at all with Sit Rep Pro, but now, even if the enemy has dead silence on, you'll be able to hear Sit Rep Pro nice and easily. So that's a general class setup to go with. It can really help you out, and I'm sure if you give it a go, you'll realise how awesome it is. Finally, equipment, portable radar. If you and your teammate have a portable radar, 2 or 3 is enough to cover pretty much the whole map. Basically, holding down different areas of the maps and moving around every 2 or 3 kills is probably the best way to be consistent and to sort of semi-camp every now and then, but not stay in the same position the whole map so the enemy know exactly where you are. And finally, predicting the spawns. If you see my map video, again, making sure you know the spawns well in these small maps is really useful. If you and your teammate just staying in sort of the general same place as each other, then you're going to be finding the enemy will be spawning on the opposite side of the map, and the spawns will basically flip backwards and forwards as you travel back and forwards between the different stages of the map. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. These are just some general tips and tricks for the Face+Off game mode. I think they'll really help you out and really make sure that you're doing a lot better than normal when playing this game mode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and let me know what you think of Face+Off and what you think of these tips and tricks in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. All the like ratings are really appreciated and helps to share the video around on YouTube so more people get to see it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Click on screen now to watch more videos if you've missed any of the videos on screen. So cheers for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.